Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening from whenever you're watching this recording from or calling in from. Hope we had a good weekend. I know I did. So, preparing for yet another week. As you can see, for this week, I don't think we have the first few days are going to be quite slow because there are no major news releases coming this week. But from Wednesday, we'll be having a number of news releases that we have to really watch out for, most especially the FOMC meeting minutes. That's going to be something that I'll be paying attention to as well. But on a Thursday, we have the OPEC meetings. So for some of us that want to trade the oil, I would say for now, you can probably just who knows, if you just want to sit on your hands and just see what's going to happen, or you can take advantage of the movement that would be happening in the market when that meeting happens or finishes. But that's going to affect the OPEC meetings. I believe it's going to affect oil, which is going to affect CAD as well. Going to affect CAD, and I'm sure going to affect AUD as well, and NZD, because commodities, there are countries that are predominant, that's their commodities predominantly oil, or thereabout, that when this commodity moves in the market, it affects their currency as well. So for some of us trading USD, CAD, yen, and the rest of them, we should also, and maybe is NUD, AUD, NZD or something. We should also see some movements in the market as well. So that's just what this week has for us in terms of news. So straight up to the charts, because I'm going to be looking at quite a number of charts today. I'm not going to dwell much on them. But before I continue, I just wanted to just drop a quick nugget that we should constantly remember your higher time frame is your bread and butter. Your higher time frame, do not trade without the higher time frame in mind. Now, you can do a lot of things. You can become so successful if you can identify key support and resistance levels in your higher time frame, because market price always get to them. Well, would always get to them, I should say, most times. Now, for some of us that also use indicators, please don't just depend on indicators alone, because they will not help. Most of these indicators are lagging indicators. I think the cloud is a leading indicator, but then the greatest or the most powerful indicator that you can have is the price. Price is your highest probability indicator, because it tells only price will tell you when it is high and when it is low. It's because sometimes your indicators will tell you it is overbought, but before you know it, price still pushes up higher than what the indicator is saying. But don't depend solely on your indicator. Use your support and resistance. This is, in fact, let me tell you the truth, the big banks out there, this is what they are using: support and resistance. There is no indicator whatsoever. People that trade out there or that have different strategies that do not use support and resistance, they all use support and resistance as their base foundation. So if you want to trade the market and be successful in the market and avoid a lot of errors and missed trades, you have to learn to use your support and resistance. And the way to master them or to get higher probability trades is to look at them on the higher time frame. Just picture them, identify them on the higher time frame, and then wait for the market to move to them, from the lower time frames. So anyway, if you look at all my charts, you already know from the higher time frames, you already see, I've already identified where they are, so if I move down to the smaller time frame, I can easily trade them. One of the trades that we were monitoring was this trade here, because we saw it decided, we missed the entry from here. We saw that move. We missed the entry. He came back. He had his sell limit here, and he came back and missed that entry. Yeah, I missed it. I didn't get it. Let me show you. It came all the way, but it didn't come to my entry here. It just stopped halfway. It dropped down, so I knew it was going to pull back before coming back down, but it didn't come all the way to my entry, and then kept going. I left it until it got to our support trading level. And I said, guys, that it was going to bounce from there, pushed and pushed and pushed. And when it was tired of pushing, it bounced. So I'm already in this trade, I think, at this level. So which is this, I was able to do that because I identified my key support, which is time supply and demand areas on the higher time frame. So right now, this is where we're at on this trade, Euro Swiss franc. So what I'm expecting now for this trade is this thing here. I expect this to be a break and retest for further push to the upside. Now that said, let me also throw something else in there. It doesn't mean that because it's going up like this, that nothing would change, that there's no possibility of it deciding to continue to the downside. That's also possible. But that's why I have my money management, risk management skills in place to ensure that when I'm in the trade, I move my stop loss in place. I close half of my trade. I protect my money. So if something happens out of the blues, I know I can always, I won't be kicked out of the market in a loss. So right now, this would be a good place for another opportunity to enter. So I have one here. I think I already have another one here with stop loss in place. So if that continues to the downside, it's all good. It will take my entry out here with a small loss, but I would also have my this thing here with a win because I'm already in the market already. So look out for this trade. For this one, I'm looking for buy here. So that level, I know we're still going up. I'm still expecting that to go up. So if it gets to this level, it's a key level. So possibility of it touching, and it's it gives a high possibility of it touching and possibly dropping a bit, even if it falls 10 pips, which is the minimum you need to be successful in the market, 10 pips. So you can decide, okay, this is a key level that I have identified. So I'm just going to look for 10 pips here. I just want the market to go there and return 10 pips, and then I get out of market. So every key level you identify is your potential trade. Because if price visited that level before, it would visit it again. When it gets to that level, it will react. Remember what happened here. It got to this level, bounced, and what happened when price finally got back there? What did you see? Reaction. Can you see that? Reaction. So if you're only trading for 10 pips, this is your trade right there. Just take your 10 pips and you leave the market. So every other thing, before it dropped all the way down here, what happened? It gave a reaction. So this could be your trade. So you can't say, okay, if price comes all the way to this level, all I'm looking for is 10 pips or 20 pips, and then I'm out of the market, because price will always react at the place it's been to before. So I said I didn't want to waste time on this call because I have a lot to look at. So that's what we're looking at. So retest, we're looking for that to push to the upside. So that's Swiss franc, Euro Swiss franc, AUD USD. Not entirely sure what this guy is doing anymore. Normally, when I start trading a pair and it jumps into a consolidation, I usually don't just bother with it. Like the other one we just finished looking at, I knew price was going to bounce off at this level. I was going to take us all the way. Let me see if I had the charts marked up. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen because every time price got there, bounced, got there, bounced, got there, bounced. So I knew that was going to happen. So we got our trade in here. We got, I think I got my stop loss somewhere around here, but price came back and took me out of the market. So I ignored it altogether. But now if you can see, it's been going sideways. It's no clear high. There's no clear low. So my next trade zone is this level. Why this level? Because when price got there, it dropped, so I want price to either get there again and then possibly drop again. So if price gets there again, I'm going to look for another sell. I may not sell all the way down here. I may sell just to some level here for a quick win and out if I really want to do that. Or if price now breaks this level, then my next level will be here. Why? Because I have identified it as a key level before. Price reacted at that level. It may be there or it may be here. The reason why I picked this place was probably because of this other one, so it may be at this level. So I'm going to look for a trade entry at this point and then exit here or even exit somewhere around here. But the thing is just to keep monitoring it, not to allow it to, take advantage of us. If you look at it clearly from the upside, it got to this level, and if it's going to move out, generally speaking, it should bounce from this level and go all the way back up. It is still at the grassroots here, but sometimes if you're not already, if you didn't enter from this bottom, you may not get a good entry again until you get to another key level, which will be somewhere around here. You can see it. So I'm looking for that level to be my level now for an entry. So if price pushes up at this level, I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting on my hands. So I'm not trading this sideways trade because there's nothing here. So I can look for a sell opportunity at this level, or if it breaks above that, then I look for a buy opportunity to continue to the upside. That's AUD USD. But for this trade this week, I'm not really looking at this trade. My trade this week would be Euro Swiss franc. Now look at Euro NZD. This has been moving according to plan as well. Remember, again, we were waiting for price to come to that level and then bounce, and then we saw what happened. It did come to that level. Against the power support and resistance, it did come to that level and then bounced. So I've been in this trade since here. This is where you guys know I've been here. So it bounced all the way, went up, pulled all the way back down here. I wasn't worried because I knew I still have a long way to go. So now this is where it is at, pushed, and I created this level for us. I felt price was going to get to that level and come back down. Sure enough, when price got there, what did you see? It reacted and started coming down. So that's a power of identifying key support and resistance levels. So when it got there, it reacted. When it was coming, I noticed that it started having reactions around here. So I created a mini support level for it. Yep, you guys followed me with this trade. I created a mini support level because I noticed that it got here and reacted. So I just felt okay. That's why I said I will look for a sell at this here, at this level. I will look for a sell here. Why? Because I noticed it reacted, went up. So I felt okay, if it's going to come back, it's probably going to break that level that it reacted from, retest it, and then continue down. If at all it's going to do that. Otherwise, it will continue to the upside. And what happened? Price got to the upside. I was looking for a rejection, and which is what happened. All of this was a rejection, and which, that's why I wrote all of that there. So now I was waiting for price to break that level, come back down to give me a buy limit opportunity here. So as you can see, truly price broke out. It came back down. It missed me a bit. Yep, missed me just a few pips and then pushed to the upside. Sometimes you will not always know price will do these things, but yes, that is what it is. It's going to do that, but now it got almost to the level, the next key level, and then started dropping again. So I'm still going to keep my buy limit here and expect it to come in and pick me, but I still believe this is going to go up. So this may be your trade. This level may be your trade, or you wait for it to break this all together. You see that level, wait for it to break that 1.6699 T altogether and then retest that level. So this may be your trade. Your trade will be at this level. So we can ignore all of that. Let it come back up, Excuse me. So let it come back up. Retest that 1.66994. So your buy will be at that level. So I'm more particular about the buy. I'm not looking for the sell on this pair. So this is your trade right there. So that's one. If it doesn't come all the way down, yep. If it doesn't come all the way down, but if it comes all the way down, you already have your trade waiting for it down here. Yep. So this is where you'll be looking for a buy limit. Sorry. Yep, because that's where price broke out of. So most time it comes in to retest it before making the move to the upside. So that's one level. But if you can't catch it there, remember, don't trade in the middle of a trade. Always look for a key level. So I'm going to wait for price to come back to the top here. But I have my buy limit here if it comes in and takes me. But if it doesn't, then I'm going to wait for it to break this level and retest that level. So that's your trade, Euro NZD. AUD NZD, for some of us that also followed me, that have been following this trade. Remember where we were at. We were at this level, and I said, okay, price will definitely may push up at this level. But if it breaks that level, then we're going to see it coming down to this level before pushing to the upside. So it broke that level quite all right, retested it, and then continued to the downside. But it didn't come all the way to the down to here to pick me in my put me in the trade with the buy limit. But what happened? But I did say that eventually, whatever happens, price is going up. Yep. So if I miss it at this level, if I don't get it at this level, then I'm probably going to look for an opportunity above. And what did you see? Price pushed all the way to the upside. Why did I find that easy to believe that it was going to push up? Because this was a key level. Key level. It's been there before. Key level. Yep. You look at it on the higher time frame. There are key levels. Every time price got to them, always remember, always sell low, buy low and sell high. So I knew price was coming back to that level, and when it comes back to that level, it's going to bounce. Identifying your support and resistance on the higher time frame. And now this is what happened. Price pushed that up. I missed that entry because I was really waiting for that buy limit to set up at this level, but that didn't happen. Yep. So I missed all of that big move, but then I saw that opportunity, another opportunity at this level. Yep. So what did you see? Price came into that level, created a flag, and what did you see? Pushed to the upside. So it got to that level, pushed up. We're looking for a buy limit, and again, price broke it. What did you see? Came back into it. And what happened? It pushed up. So if you follow those simple patterns, they would always do you good. And I did say it was going to, I did point that out from the smaller time frame that was going to happen. It push, retest, and then push to the upside, which is exactly what happened. Push, retest, and then push to the upside. So I'm still in this one, but if you're not if you're not in this one yet, so you're going to have to forgo all of this and wait for price to push past that level, or you can look for your trade at this level. Let it come. This one you've missed out already, just leave it. This will be your trade. Remember, high probability areas. Always look for trades at the high probability areas. You can set, I know some of us use call levels. Just set your call level or alert or what have you, so that when price gets to that level, you can trigger and then remind you to either put your trade, or you can even do what's it called now, a sell limit here, for a quick win. So if that rejects and rejects at the level, that that it's definitely coming down. But how far down it may go, we are not very sure. So just the levels that we have are the only levels that we know, that we believe they may turn around from. So it may come all the way down here before pushing back to the upside, or may just come back to maybe a previous low, something like this. Yep, before pushing to the upside. But the main area that we'll be looking for trade will be at that level for sell, and then if that continues and then breaks that all together, we'll look for that level for price to come back into it, so that we can buy it to the upside. So just take note of that one. At this level, there's nothing to buy or sell here. On the step you want to scalp, then you can drop down to your time frame and look for entry opportunities. But I'd rather if mark your charts on the higher time frame, so that you can know the levels, can know where price is going to, where it has been to, which is where it's going to is a function of where it's been to. Yeah, because we know that price has memory. So anyway, that's NCAUD, NZD, and with the OPEC news meetings on Friday or thereabout, yes, we would see some good movements in this pair as well. So that's that one. The next one we are having is GBP AUD. Same thing. Let me take this out of the way. Same thing. We're looking for that trade. Let me see. We've been monitoring this trade for a number of weeks now. For some of us that we are here, we're looking for that double top to play out. It's struggling. It's not playing out as we expected to. It got to that level, gave us that rejection, dropped, give us that rejection, and it's dropping. So I'm not sure if it's going to push down, because if you notice, guys, it pushed down and then pushed back up, push down, then push back up. So it's just been doing that. So for this pair, we have to be careful. And I know that's as a result of the Brexit negotiations and everything that's been happening. But we had an opportunity. I think D did notice this push, So when it got to that level, I felt, okay, maybe it's going to push up a little bit to that key level. So I wouldn't even be looking for a trade at this level. So this is where I was looking for a trade. But what happened? Price didn't get to that level. It started rejecting as I coming down. So we got the opportunity to get a trade when it started coming down. So we entered it somewhere around here, So and now it gave a flag here, and we also waited to see an opportunity to enter it. just to pick it all the way down here. Yeah, but it didn't come down so far. So this right now, this is where it's at. It's coming back into that what's it called now, consolidation that is formed. So for this one, I can't really put all my money in GBP AUD. In fact, it's one of my best pairs. I did mention that, but because of the Brexit negotiations, I won't really put all my money in there. Now, one other thing you have to bear in mind is that price may not totally get to a key level before making a turn. We saw that in AUD and ZD. So for this one, you see, that's a key level. Anytime price got there, it bounced. So this may just be the final thing price is going to do, before bouncing to the upside. So there's always that possibility that this is going to reject and then continue back up. That's possible. That's really possible, because we've seen that happen a number of times. So that means that this may not be an assurance for us that this is going to continue to the downside. So if you're already in this one, like I am, prepared to look for an exit, so that it doesn't take away your profit. Because I don't think we entered from a very good point anyway. So but you can put a buy limit at this level to wait for it if you want to just get a quick win. But then again, same strategy, nothing changes. If it comes down to this level, expecting maybe a small push before continuing to the downside. But basically, you know that our general bias for GBP AUD is down. That's where we're waiting for. The reason why we sometimes get these do this the buys and everything, just because GBP AUD pays a lot, So, but if you're not gonna trade this, just wait for this. Don't sell anything yet until you can see a break of that level, to continue to the downside. Because what is possible is that price can come here and then bounce back up, or who knows, come here, bounce up, before anything. So for this one, leave this one, get a buy limit somewhere around here. Get a buy limit, short buy limit here, and then with the stop loss in place. And then if that fails, you'll surely know that it's going to come down, break that level, and then you can look for a sell, continuous sell to the downside. Bearing in mind, again, this is where we're trading with. This is what we're trading with. This double top here, we're still here, but right now it's just doing consolidation up and down, So and also we're doing it based on this channel, putting that in mind as well as we are trading, Okay, so straight up CAD yen. Next one, we're looking for that what's it called now, head and shoulder at this level. As you guys can see, that head and shoulder. And I've traded this kind of head and shoulder before. I think I saw it in Swiss franc yen. Let me see if I can find that. It was one of those old inverted. One of those old head and shoulders. I'm not sure I'm gonna find it. It was a long time. Let me see. I'm not sure I'm gonna find it. It was one of those old ones, weird ones, but it's really played out. I can't find it. If I find it, I would set it up. I must send it to you guys. But this is one of the ones. This is the way it looked, head and shoulder. So right now, you can see it. There's the shoulder. Then there's the head. And this is the second shoulder. So that, which means this is a neckline. I should have used a different color for this particular one. Okay, so that means this is the neckline. Yep. So what are you waiting for? That break. For some, I'm already in this, to be honest, really, because I saw a break, but what did you see again? Price broke back in. I'm not bothered because I have my stop loss, I think around here somewhere, which is the normal place you put your stop loss, either there or here. So if this comes all the way back, then I've lost that trade, and it's all good. I move on to the next one. But I'm really expecting this to break, retest, and then continue to the downside. So this is a good place for you to look for your sell for this trade. So two trades now, CAD yen and Euro Swiss franc is a trade to watch this week. Let me see that. The reason why I have that big, those yellow triangles. What? Okay, you okay? This is why I get it now. I was looking at this inverted head and shoulder as well. So meaning what we're trading here is to complete the the foot or the second shoulder so that we can push to the upside as well. This is the head, this is the left shoulder, this is the right shoulder. I think I'm being influenced by Deidra these days to look for this kind of head and shoulders. Normally, if they don't set up, they don't look nice, I don't treat them, but she's been influencing me to open my eyes to some of them. So we're looking at waiting for this to come to the down to the push use that head and shoulder, and by the way guys, because it is at a key level, I can believe that is a valid one. It is at a key support and resistance. Head and shoulders as a support is an inverted head and shoulder, which offers an opportunity for reversal. Head and shoulder at a resistance is a head and shoulder which offers what's it called now, an opportunity for a reversal. So right now, this, I believe this may just use this to push to the downside, just so it can do its thing, push here and possibly to that level or the triangle here before it finally pushes to the upside. So that's my trade for this week. So if you guys want to also put that as part of your trade, that would be great. Okay, the dollar index. Now, for some of us that started this with me, you saw I saw that, and I knew it was coming down, and yes, and it played out perfectly. Zero. What's it called now? Zero. Is it looking for the word now? Drawdown. Yeah, that's the word. Zero drawdown. Hit it perfectly, and it came down. Yeah, this one gave a little bit of drawdown because I also knew when it comes to that line, it will push up. Wow, how was I able to identify that? I saw this on the higher time frame. I saw price got here, pushed, got here, pushed, got there, pushed, got, and I knew it was coming down again. As it got to this level, I knew it was coming down. When it comes down, it would push again. And besides, I saw this as well. It was a key level. Price got there, dropped. When it got into it, it pushed and kind of did that thing, and then pushed again. When it got to that level, broke it, retested it. It was just playing around this level. So I knew that was a key level. I got to the future as well. Saw that. I knew, okay, because price is back at that level, definitely it's going to come down. And what did it do? It came right down. So I knew it was going to push up again after coming to that that trend line, so same thing happened, it pushed. So now possibilities that price, you can see why I'm saying that it was going to push to the upside, because it always pushed to the upside and drop, push to the upside. But again, there's also the possibility that price may decide to stop halfway, just like this happened. You see, this happened as well. Same thing happened here. Same thing happened here. So it's not every time price got away from this thing that it pushed to the upside. So it could just go do that, drop, and then that can happen. Or like this one, push up, didn't go too far away, came back into it. So another one went up, didn't go went they far enough, and then dropped and continued. So this may happen again. You can see that move, and then price may come back down. That's a possibility, or we just push down here before continuing to the upside to complete that. See what I mean, guys? See why? You see my reasoning every time I take a trade. I'm always looking at the back. What did it do before? Because if it did it before, it may do it again. So this kind of thing may happen. So I'm not going to sit all together. I'm saying, okay, I'm expecting this to just boom all the way to the upside without any kind of fight. It's not, price is going to give you a fight before giving you whatever you want it to give you. So this may just continue, and because it's been struggling here, to be honest, really. So it may just continue, maybe push up a bit and drop, and then who knows, or push back down before continuing to the upside. I'm saying that to say that if you're in this trade, you need to protect your profit. So one of the things that I'm trading, I use the dollar index to trade, is the US dollar, euro dollar, EU. Just get this out of the way. Wish I can just do that. Yeah, good. I'm using trading it because of this. Yep. And if you guys notice as well, remember when I traded, I used that to tell you to trade your EU on that. When this is coming down, this goes up. Yep. Why? Because the EU is the leading currency. The other one is the second currency. This is the base currency. This is the quote. Is it the base quote? Exactly. So if this is going up, yep. So it means this is coming down. I'm saying I know most of us already know what I'm talking about, but for the benefit of those that will be watching this in the future, that will be new, So right now, the reason why I'm looking to trade this buy here is because price is at the key level. Look at this on the higher time frame. You can already see it, guys. You can see it. You can see it. It's a key level. Price reacted every time it got to that level. And now, what did we notice when in this, guys? Every time price got to key levels, what did it do? Give a reaction. Same thing here. So price is at this level. I'm expecting, because it's not been able to penetrate this level for like how long now? Let me see. Since we got into this level, 2017 May. Yep, got into that level. It broke out of it 2017, same 2017 May, you know, and it came back into it, bounced, came back into it, bounced, so it's back into it now. So it hasn't broken it. So I'm taking that as an advantage, an opportunity to trade it. So now that means, what does that mean? That means that where we are at now, we're expecting the dollar to push, kind of push to the, continue pushing to the downside, you know, dollar to push to the downside so that we can get, you know, a trade here. Yeah, I'm already in the trade. So what we might see that may happen is that price would possibly push down a bit, you know, could possibly push down in opposite reaction to the DXY as well, then before pushing to the upside. That may happen. Or again, it just continue doing its thing to the upside. Yep. So if you're in this one, just know that you have to protect, probably have your stop loss somewhere so it doesn't come back and take you out. But this is the trading zone. This is trading zone. I'm taking this trade because of that key level that we are in now, not because of any other thing, not even because of the DXY. Because this, if I'm looking at the DXY alone, that's telling me that this has a possibility to just keep going up. But if you notice what has been happening, this has been pushing up, but this hasn't been reacting the same way. So I just have the feeling that this may just be doing its own thing. You get me? So even though this is pushing up, this is probably trying to stall around here so it can give us the opportunity to trade. I think maybe God is at work here. So anyway, for that trade, it's still at a good point of entry. So if you're not, it's a risky one too, because it could just push down and then break, you know, break and then keep pushing down. But I'm very confident of this trade. Why? Because I have my stop loss in place. So if anything happens, I'm not going to lose. And besides, it's Euro USD is a very cheap pair. You know, I know I forsook it at one point, and but then because it has a key level, I love key levels, trading at key levels. Yeah, and one would even say that I know if I give this to D would notice the inverted head and shoulder playing out here. She's very good at that. You know, you can see the impulse, you can see the left leg, left shoulder, you can see the head, you can see the right shoulder. So this might be a good inverted head and shoulder to trade, meaning your trade would, if you're not in this, your trade would be, you can actually enter here to get an early entry stop loss somewhere around your stop loss below, as I mentioned, below that second red line. But your best trading strategy for trading inverted head and shoulders is the neckline. That's the rule. That is the rule. So it means you would have to wait for all of that to happen, then retest before you can take that. So there's nothing stopping you. There's no wrong in you waiting. Yep. Yeah, just to also blow my own trumpet. Remember, guys, I drew that what's it called now? That's what's it called now, this pattern, believing when price was somewhere around here, saying that price was going to push to that level and then continue down, and that's exactly what happened. Price pushed to that level and then continued down. You see that pattern, I did say it, the price is going to push there and then continue to the downside. Yes, it got to that level, and then so you can see. So if you took that trade, kudos to you. So that's Euros USD. I hope I'm not overshooting. NZD card. This is another pair. I need to get these things out of the way now. So NZD card, same, another good trade that we've been monitoring for some time now. Remember, guys, we started last year looking at that opportunity. So price got gave us that is it fork or pins. Some may affect your audio system. Low resources may affect try closing some application. Oh, okay. I think it's saying okay. Don't worry. I think it should be fine. Okay. So now what happened? We saw price push above that. You know, let me see now. Price pushed above that, and then what happened? Okay, I did say that this may be a spring. Yep, that may be a spring for price when the price was around here anyway. For price to continue pushing to the downside, and sure enough, it was a spring, to be honest. Well, in a way, because I would say in a way because for me to really confirm that it needs to break this level. So a spring means that it's maybe it wanted to come down, so it just goes up first. It does this, you know, then pushes out so that it can gather momentum to push to the downside. Remember what happens when you bounce a ball? It gathers momentum on the floor and then bounces. So the same thing here. So I was expecting that to happen. So it's happening. It broke through the first one. So I expect it to continue to the downside. Now, again, remember the rule, because this is a key level. I believe when price comes here, it's going to have a reaction. 10, 20 pips, you can just pick your 10, 20 pips, buy out of here and then go out. But not forgetting to put your stop loss at the previous, low. So for that one, I believe price may come here, but I'm not sure. It may just come here and then push back to this level, then continue to the downside. That may happen, or may drop. That's it as I'm indicating, come back to that level before coming back down. But again, the charts already have them drawn out, so you can't take a trade at this level. Again, remember it is in consolidation, so you have to be careful. Your trade is at the key level, this level and this level, and if it breaks this level, then you know where we're going to. But generally, this is my general bias for this trade. I'm really expecting this to continue to the downside all the way down here. It's a massive move. All of this, this is my trade right here. So if you can get a good entry, yeah, I've been getting in. Every time I get in, something happens and it pushes out, and then but I'm still in right now. I want to look for another opportunity to get in, possibly when it comes to this level, or maybe breaks that level. So NZD card, guys. USD, yen, dollar yen, I'm going to ignore this one, although it's playing out to where I thought it would get to. Again, the same thing. Okay, let me just touch it for a bit. So if it comes here, you could ignore it till it comes to that level and look for your buy there. Because look at why. Because look at that. Price got there, bounced, got into it, broke it, and returned, dropped. So it's going back there. So you could look for your trade maybe before that, at that level, before that one, or you wait for price to come all the way to that level. But really, this is your zone, your trading zone right there. All of that is your trading zone. So when price gets into that level, you're going to look for your buy. Why? Because that's like it's can be tagged a break and retest. Go there and then goes there and then continues to the downside. Or that may eventually, but it doesn't seem like it's strong enough to break it. Can you see it's slowing down? You can see something similar here. Came it, started slowing down, then dropped. So it doesn't seem like it's strong enough to break that level. So it may just go there, touch it, and then continue to the downside. But if for some reason dollar becomes strong and it pushes to the upside, then you know that this is your next level. That's why you have your levels. Your levels are there to guide you. So that's a quickie on euro, dollar, USD, Swiss franc. Now this one again was waiting for that to. Let me show you again. I was waiting for that double top. Been playing this double top for a while, but because for some reason it's been consolidating, just not playing out the way we expect it to play out. I know some of us started trading this at one point. Remember one point, and when it started messing up, we left it alone. So right now, I'm expecting price to come back to that trend line. Why? Because I identified it on the higher time frame. Hit, bounce, hit, bounce, hit, bounce. So I'm expecting price to come back to that trend line. It will come back because it is still in a downtrend right now. As you can see, it's still in a down. Still downtrend. So this may become, considered to be a what's it called now? A pullback. So I don't want to consider this to be price trying to push to the upside. So I still want to consider all of this pullback for price to continue to the downside. Yep. So, but although it's possible that because it's broken above this, it may just come back into it and then push to the upside. But then look at all of this thing happening here. This doesn't give me the strong bias to believe that this is strong enough to push to the upside, that the bulls are in control. All this rejection happening. So I think I was in this trade. I don't know if it's hit my stop loss. Yes, my stop loss was somewhere around here. So if that hit my stop loss, I won't be bothered. But what I'll be looking for this is for this to break back into this level. So that's your trade. It's still at a key good level. Your trade will be at this level. Break back into that 0.996868. So you can look for your trade back down. But generally, where we're going to. We're not staying too long in it. We just need it to come to that this level. Where is it now? Just wanted to come to that level. This is our trade exit points because of history. Yep. So exit at that level, and then we'll start looking for other things. Now, also something to note is that the dollar index, also the dollar Swiss franc also plays sometimes with the dollar index. So if this is happening, we may just see if there's a massive move here, it may just affect this one, but it's not like it happens. It's like it's not a mirror effect, because as you can see, if you notice it, you can see that it's not a mirror effect. It's not mirrored. The only one that I know has some similar can be called a mirror would be Euro USD and the dollar index. But this one, because of the Swiss franc, I think Swiss franc is a strong currency as well, so it would have its own mind as well. So yep, so put that into consideration. Again, remember, you can't trade every pair. There are some pairs you just need to ignore and then pick the ones that will offer you a higher probability. So I missed that trade. I was waiting for that trade, this move forever. All of this, I was waiting for all of this forever because price has been playing out, every time it got there. So I was really waiting for it, but I missed it. So, but now this is where price is at. I don't know where I eventually entered. I think I entered it when it came back and retested. Remember, guys, levels. You see, price got there, bounced. So when he broke it, I was expecting price to come back into it. So I had my sell limit here. And what did you notice? Price came in, took me into the trade, and then it's been coming down. So right now it's playing out. It came down. So I thought, okay, it may just come all the way down before bouncing to the upside. And then it bounced a bit and then continues to the downside. So for this one, if I'm going to be trading this one, I said we may get a bounce. If we get a break below, look for a retest, then it's sell. So what I mean there is that if this continues, doesn't bounce all the way back up here, then it's possibly going to come down here and then possibly come back into it and then continue to the downside. Or it may just, I know the reason why I can clearly see the reason why it's having that reaction because of this level. You can see, guys, almost missed that. So look at that, because price got into it, bounced. So that is why it's having that reaction, So right now, I wouldn't advise you to enter and start selling this. Why? Because the distance between this level and this level, key level, is very short. Your best trading place would be when price breaks this all together. Price breaks all of this all together, then possibly that trade, this is your trade right here, then for you to trade, because all of this is a high possibility move that is going to come all the way down here. Yep. Bearing in mind that we're still looking for NZD CAD to continue to the downside. So guys, don't try to sell at this level. Let it come back to that level. Break that all together. Just remember, if we get a break and break below, look for retest so that we can trade that to the downside. So that's that one. Let me see what next. USD CAD. Yeah, I think D noticed this one as well for us last week. This double bottom as well. So we're looking for that opportunity to also, maybe buy this if we can get. It's already broken the shoulder, the neckline. I would say, is it the neckline now? So to retest and then possibly to do up, but I'm not putting my money on USD CAD because acting up. I thought this double top was going to play out altogether, but you see, it got there, drop. So we expected that to continue down, but what happened? It's been playing out. So I'm just going to ignore USD CAD, for now. But if you want to trade this double bottom, if you believe this is a valid one, but it's because it's at the key level, you can trade it, buy it to the upside. It's already seeming like it's making its move to the upside, but this will be your exit, this will be your stop loss. Yep. So if you're going to take that one, but if that doesn't happen, it's coming back, retesting that level, and then first TP, stop loss. Yep. All right. USD CAD. USD CAD. I have two more before I fold it. I don't want it to be too long. Yep. I was looking for that inverted head and shoulder. Right. I think we saw that move coming somewhere around here. So right now, yep, it's already begun to make its move. So now my bias for this one is, where is my pen? My bias for this one is for price to come all the way, yep, retest that level, and then take me to the top. Yeah. So that is my trade. That's where I'm going to be looking for my trade from. I don't think I'm already in this one. So for some people who want to have an early entry, that will be your trade. So retest of that level will be your trade. Why that level? Because that's a previous high that it got to before rejecting. Now, if this now rejects and then comes all the way down, then it ceases to be a valid move. So I'm just going to ignore it altogether. But as long as it's still below, it is still above the head, it's still a valid inverted head and shoulder for me. So this is it. My trade here, my trade will be this one for the Euro Aussie. So all of that will be mine. Stop loss around here. Yep. So one more, and we'll call it a night or day from whenever you're watching this from. Swiss franc yen. If you guys were with me on this one, this was what I was really looking for. Key level prices at the key level. It broke that to the upside. So I was trying to trade that Gatling. Yes, a Gatling. My stop, remember the rule of a Gatling, stop loss above this level. Yep. Your trade, initially I had this at this level. Yeah, it got there quite all right. Dropped a bit. I think it was at this level. Dropped a bit. I could have, I knew, if I knew, I would have taken my profit, but that's not the way I trade anyway, but I think I got in early or thereabout. So it pushed up, but my stop loss was here. So it didn't hit my stop loss. Hadn't hit my stop loss. So it's still there. So it dropped. I was so elated when I came in and saw that it dropped, it was so just a few pips away. It got there and then dropped to the downside. Now it's been pushing all up and down. It's not a problem for me as long as it hasn't hit my stop loss. I don't have anything to be worried about. Again, Swiss franc yen is a very cheap pair, so it's not something to be worried about. If I was trading GBP or AUD, then I probably would have closed my trade. If I saw this opportunity. But because it's a Swiss franc yen, so I can still let it be. So right now, this is where we're at. If you're not in this trade, your trade would be just let all of this happen. Let it happen because it doesn't offer any good opportunity until it breaks that level and comes back into it, and then that is your trade. Yep, on your trade, remember your levels are created. Break that level, come back into it. Your first TP, come back into your second TP. That's why those levels are there. So guys, that note, I would call this a night. Please ensure that you mark your chart, support and resistance. That is a very powerful tool for you. If you want to use I'm not saying don't use indicators, just use your indicators, but use them with support and resistance trend line. Use them with price. Don't depend on them solely because they can lag, they can deceive you, but your support and resistance just tells you this is where price has gotten to, this is where price may get to. Your price doesn't lie. Price is the strongest indicator that you have. If it is high, you will see it is high. If it is low, you will see it is low. So on that note, I say thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for calling in, and God bless you. See you on the other side. Have a fantastic trading week. God bless you.